Thanks, Nick. And it is that wet, rainy season for us here across the Southeast. And like I said, it feels a little bit cold out there. Need to bundle up, maybe go buy a jacket. Has you got a place for me to go buy a good jacket?
Ooh, REI in town, or they have the Rock Creek is pretty good. They do, especially around the springtime, you can get all the winter stuff for like 50% off, and you can get vice versa in the fall. You can get all the spring stuff 50% off. So I definitely suggest that.
Great advice coming from our senior retail analyst, Andrew Cox. He's joining me right now to talk a little bit about his FreightWaves Communities newsletter, Point of Sale. Comes out Mondays and Thursdays. And this week we're talking about Peloton once again. It seems like we really can't get them out of the news. But this time, maybe not so good news for Peloton.
Yeah, not the best news, but also not the worst news. I think a lot of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, the FUD that had been spread about this recall was a bit out of pocket. It was a bit over-exaggerated, and here's why. So there is, Peloton is recalling the two of its treadmill machines, so the Tread and the Tread Plus. The Tread is its lower-tiered, lower-priced product that was supposed to be launched fully later this month. It had only been released on a very limited basis, so they had only actually sold about 1,000 of those units. The Tread Plus, it's more expensive machine. It's about $4,300. They had sold about 125,000 of these, and they're being recalled for two separate reasons. So they have two separate remedies. The Tread Plus, the more expensive model, it's actually a far more dangerous model. It sits pretty high off the ground, and it uses a kind of a strange belt. And there's been about 70 reports of kids, pets, and all kinds of things being sucked under during use. So there's a couple of remedies for that, but the Tread is being recalled simply because it has a faulty monitor.
So really not good news for Peloton here, especially for those folks who maybe waited 4, 5, 6 months to get this, and then now they're left without luck. Talk to me a little bit about what this means as far as the logistics of cost, taking these back and then having to refund their customers when they were really already struggling a little bit thanks to those longer wait times.
Yeah, they definitely have been struggling with long wait times and delivery times. But what they're offering here, so they're offering free refunds to anybody that takes it. I don't think that many are going to take it. It's difficult to really give an estimate on what the logistical cost of this are going to be, given that we don't know how many are going to take refunds. But in the Q1 earnings call, CFO Jill Woodworth, she did say that they're expecting about $165 million revenue hit in the next quarter from this recall, and about $50 million of that is coming from the actual return cost, the cost that they are paying out as a refund. So it's not including logistical cost. And that, when asked what percentage of people that estimated to, she said it was about 10%. So if you take about 10% of the people, I talked to Bill Catania, who is the CFO and founder of OneRail. He said that the cheapest and fastest way to get this behind them would be simply to take these off to the landfill, right? So, and he estimated about $250 to $500 per pickup stop, depending on how far they had to drive. But I think that's really a wasted opportunity. I think this is a prime opportunity for Peloton to create their own certified pre-owned market. They're going to be able to fix these Pelotons relatively easy with a software upgrade and possibly just a bar under to keep things from going under, I think. And these things hold value for a long time. They're very valuable, and I think this is a perfect opportunity. It's been very difficult for them to create a CPO market in the past because nobody churns over. They have the lowest churn rate of any consumer company that I've really followed. So they don't really have a lot of secondary, they don't have a big secondary market because people don't really sell them. But now they're going to have an influx of all of these treadmills that they can fix up quickly and resell, and I think it would be a really good opportunity for them to do so.
And so we're talking about the quickest way to put them behind them. Their reputation has been kind of tarnished throughout the pandemic with promises that were really kind of left unfulfilled. Then we talk about that hit to their revenue where they were talking about having to pay higher logistics costs by moving things by air instead of by taking those longer hit times, moving them over maritime. So is there any space to make up the differences, or are they just kind of expecting this to be like another hit to their reputation?
Well, I think they did, when it came to the long delivery times, the only thing that they really did wrong was not be upfront with customers about what the delays were actually going to be. It's very, right, it's very easy to, double and triple your sales if you really have no intention of being able to fulfill those orders. And that was where Peloton was for a time. They're no longer in that. They're actually coming back to, pretty much in line on-time deliveries for their bike. The Tread is another story, obviously, but their the bike delivery times are coming back in line. And I don't think Peloton has done, I think this is going to be a hit to their reputation. I think that is the biggest thing here. The explicit cost of this return is nothing compared to what the brand image hit will be. But with that being said, I think that Peloton has made the right move. They have followed the 3-step crisis management of the top guy or gal to take responsibility. You acknowledge the problem and you over-promise, you extend on the thing.
Overall for a solution.
Yes, right. Overall for a solution. And that's what they're doing, offering free returns on a $4,300 machine. And on top of that, if you don't want to return, they're actually offering a free movement. They'll come in and move the machine from one room to another place in your room where maybe it's more secluded away from kids. and pets, and that is costly as well. But again, they're buying back customer loyalty here, and I think it's going to be good for them long term.
Makes sense. So Point of Sale, the newsletter, comes out Mondays and Thursdays. Point of Sale, the show, airs on Wednesdays. Give us a little snippet of what you got coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow I've got Dennis Anderson, the Chief Customer Officer at ArcBest. We talked about customer obsession in freight logistics, because when I think of customer obsession, I jump to consumer companies. I jump to Amazon. I jump to Chick-fil-A, people that have my heart dearly. But it's also a big thing here in our industry. So we talked about how customer obsession really builds into the strategies of their managed transportation and into their brokerage and across their portfolio of brands.
Awesome. Catch Point of Sale. That's tomorrow at 1:30.